Hello, everybody. It's so good to be back with you today. And also, it's good to have our guest who is going to continue from where we left off last time, Yvonne Jones. Welcome, Yvonne.
Thank you, Zenobia. Once again, it's a delight to be here.
Excellent. And folks, if you happened to just stumble by our show today and maybe not be aware of what we're talking about, today's topic is dealing with failures and successes of a startup, how to think like a winner. So, Yvonne, how do we think like winners in the midst even of some failures and then, of course, some successes?
Well, the thing is, Zenobia, that's a great question, and really we need to see ourselves as winners even before we begin. Anything that's new, it's going to be intimidating, and as humans, we can put up all kinds of blocks. We can create all kinds of scenarios where things like that are going to happen. Very few people who are really, really positive thinkers stick to what's possible in a positive way. For some reason, we tend to go the other direction. What if I fail? What if this doesn't go well? What if nobody buys my product? What if and the what ifs and the what ifs? But before we begin, the attitude we really want to cultivate is to see ourselves as winners. And, you know, I saw this quote on healthline.com, and I thought it was so very significant. It says, your thoughts are the source of your emotions and mood. The conversations you have with yourself can be destructive or beneficial. They influence how you feel about yourself and how you respond to events in your life. So even the way we think about things have an impact on our emotions, and these emotions have an impact on how we think, how we feel, and our results ultimately.
I like that, and it's so true. You know, and many of my audience know that I wasn't, I've been teaching for years in all areas, but most recently in the college classroom, and one of the things that we dealt with was negative self-talk, trying to push that out of the way because so many students, before I retired from the classroom, my students were non-traditional, and many of them, most of them, in fact, had multiple jobs as a parent, as a spouse, as a grandparent sometimes, full-time work, sometimes full-time and half-time work, and then they were still trying to be students. And so they would come to the class, and many of them were already defeated before they got started because of the full plate that they had. And it was really something to try to get them to see that they needed to not think like a loser, as you're saying, but to think in the success mode, and to bring all of the negativity into their student work was self-defeating in and of itself. And so I see what you're saying, applying to any realm of our lives, and particularly since we're talking about starting up businesses and women who might be deterred from doing that because of some of these fears and because of some of these negative thoughts. But this is just really something that I hope people will really grab a hold of today. So thank you for bringing that out. Do you want to say anything else about that?
Yes. As a matter of fact, Zenobia, the person I thought of is Muhammad Ali. You know, when I was growing up, I would hear on the radio or see in the newspaper where he would repeatedly say, I am the greatest. Now, having been taught not to be boastful or to think too much of yourself, you know, how our parents drilled that into our heads, I felt that's exactly what he was. He was being very boastful. But as an adult, I recognized it was more than that. It was important for him to always see himself as a winner. every fight that Muhammad Ali went into, he saw himself as a winner even before he went into that fight, and sometimes despite what the pundits said, because many times they didn't think he would win. But
that's correct.
Positioning himself or picturing, visualizing himself as winning gave him the confidence to do what no one thought he could do and go where no one thought he could. So while I'm not a fan of boxing or any kind of aggressive sport, I couldn't help as we're talking about the matter of being a winner. I could not help but impressed with Muhammad Ali's positive attitude and self-talk, because that's the kind of mentality we need to have, especially us who are my target market is 50 and over. So many of us have gone through lots of different challenges in our lives and have seen a lot of things. And so those challenges or whatever happened in our lives before can either empower us or they disempower us. So it's maybe to be able to start a business successfully, we may have to really do a mindset shift where if we didn't see ourselves as success before, then now we have to learn to absorb that, change our thinking, and position ourselves that, yes, I can do this, and take action to empower yourself by getting more knowledge on whatever it is you're going to pursue, so that it actually becomes a business rather than just a hobby.